Hey kids! Get ready to dive into the weird and wacky world of insects. I'm talking about creepy crawlies with superpowers, crazy skills, and some seriously strange habits. We're going to be your guides on this wild adventure, so buckle up and get ready for some mind-blowing insect facts. We're talking about stuff that's so awesome, you'll be telling all your friends about it. Did you know that some insects have superpowers? Like they can lift hundreds of times their own weight or shoot boiling hot chemicals out of their butts. It's like something straight out of a comic book, but it's real life, and it's happening right in your backyard. So what are we waiting for? Let's get this insect party started. First up, we've got the praying mantis. This insect is a master of disguise. I'm talking about blending in like a chameleon at a costume party. You might walk right by a praying mantis and not even know it's there. They're usually green or brown, which helps them blend in with plants and leaves. And guess what? They use this camouflage to sneak up on their prey. Talk about a stealthy hunter. But wait, there's more. The praying mantis is also a patient hunter. It can stay perfectly still for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when it does, it's lightning fast. The praying mantis uses its powerful front legs to snatch its prey in the blink of an eye. Now, get this. The praying mantis can turn its head 180 degrees to look over its shoulder. That's like having eyes in the back of your head. Can you imagine being able to see everything around you without even turning your head? That's some serious superpower stuff right there. This incredible ability helps the praying mantis keep an eye out for predators and prey. Talk about being aware of your surroundings. So the next time you see a praying mantis, remember you're looking at a master of disguise and a creature with some seriously cool abilities. Before we go on, it's time for an important shout out first to my granddaughter's volleyball team. Go team! Our next shout goes to our friends Ishan, Jia, Adya, Ahan, Arav, Arvi, Arya, Aditi, Ivan, Pari, Dia, and of course our friend Kabir. Alright guys, we're moving on to an insect that's seriously explosive. I'm talking about the bombardier beetle. And this little guy is packing some serious heat. This beetle has a built-in chemical cannon. It can be tough to know which beetles are in this family because it includes more than 500 species of beetles. They tend to have a shiny black or metallic ridged wing covers. They exhibit a groove on their foreleg with a series of hairs, like a comb that they use for cleaning their antennae. Their head and thorax can vary from reddish-brown to a darker, almost orange color. In some cases, the wing covers will also exhibit some coloration matching the rest of the beetle. A few, based on their habitat, have bright green ridged wing covers that extend over a good portion of their abdomen. Bombardier beetles are ground beetles in the tribes Brachinini, Paucini, Ozanini, or Metrini. You heard that right, a chemical cannon. It can shoot boiling hot chemicals at its enemies from its rear end, and let me tell you, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that blast. We're talking about a defense mechanism that's straight out of a science fiction movie. The bombardier beetle mixes chemicals in its abdomen to create a boiling hot liquid that it can aim with incredible accuracy. This beetle isn't messing around when it comes to defending itself. The chemicals it shoots out are not only super hot, but they also smell really, really bad. Talk about a 1-2 punch. It's like getting hit with a stink bomb and a blowtorch at the same time. Not cool, bombardier beetle, not cool. But hey, you gotta give it to this little guy. It knows how to protect itself. Predators learn pretty quickly to steer clear of the bombardier beetle. So there you have it, the incredible, the explosive, the stinky bombardier beetle. What's more awesome than a bug? A bug that can fly. And even cooler, a bug that can fly backwards. Dragonflies are the helicopters of the insect world. They can fly at 30 miles per hour and change directions mid-air like insect parkour. Next time you see one, appreciate these tiny flying ninjas. Okay, we talked about how fast and maneuverable dragonflies are, but get this, their eyes are even crazier. I'm not kidding. These things have like 30,000 lenses in each eye. Can you imagine having 30,000 lenses in your eye? You could see everything. You could see a fly a mile away. You could see what your friends are texting. You could probably even see the future. But seriously, with all those lenses, dragonflies have incredible vision. They can see in almost every direction, which is super helpful when you're a predator trying to catch your next meal. So the next time you see a dragonfly, remember those eyes. They're not just looking at you, they're seeing everything around them in super high definition. It's like having a superpower. Alright guys, we've all heard of ants. They're everywhere, right? But have you ever heard of ants that are farmers? I'm talking about leafcutter ants, and these tiny guys are the ultimate gardeners. Leafcutter ants don't just eat any old thing they find. No way! These ants are picky eaters. They actually grow their own food, and they're surprisingly good at it. These little farmers go out and cut pieces of leaves which they carry back to their nest. It's like a tiny little parade of ants, all carrying these giant leaves above their heads. It's actually pretty impressive when you think about it. But here's the crazy part. They don't even eat the leaves. They use the leaves to grow a special kind of fungus, which is like their version of pizza or ice cream. It's their favorite food. Now, you might be thinking, how do these tiny ants manage to cut and carry all those leaves? Well, it's all about teamwork. Leafcutter ants are like a well-oiled machine. They work together perfectly, and it's seriously impressive. Some ants cut the leaves, some ants carry the leaves, and some ants even clean the leaves and take care of the fungus garden. It's like a whole ant society dedicated to growing the perfect fungus. And get this, did you know that a colony of leafcutter ants can be home to millions of ants? That's like an entire ant city, all working together to grow their favorite food. Talk about teamwork. These tiny farmers are a true inspiration to us all. They show us what can be accomplished when we all work together towards a common goal. Okay, guys, we're about to get real. And by real, I mean really gross. Get ready to learn about the dung beetle, the ultimate champion of all things poop. Now, I know what you're thinking. Poop? Ow. But trust me, dung beetles are actually pretty cool, even if they do spend most of their time rolling around in, well, you know. So what's the deal with these poop-obsessed beetles? Well, dung beetles love nothing more than to find a fresh pile of dung and roll it into a perfect ball. It's like their version of playing basketball, except instead of a basketball, they're using, well, you get the picture. And they take their poop rolling very seriously. Now, before you get any ideas about starting your own dung beetle farm, let me just say that these beetles aren't just gross little creatures that love poop. They actually play a really important role in the ecosystem. For starters, by burying all that dung, they're helping to fertilize the soil and keep things clean. Imagine what the world would be like without dung beetles. It would be a much stinkier place, that's for sure. And here's something else that might surprise you. Dung beetles are actually really strong. They can roll dung balls that are up to 50 times their own weight. That's like you rolling a car down the street. So, next time you see a dung beetle rolling its prize, take a minute to appreciate these fascinating creatures. They may be a little gross, but they're also incredibly important and surprisingly strong. Alright guys, we're moving on to the heavyweights of the insect world, the Goliath beetle. These guys are absolutely massive, and when I say massive, I mean massive! Imagine a bug so big, it's like picking up a small apple. That's how heavy these guys can get. Can you believe that? That's like 100 times heavier than a regular beetle. They're like the sumo wrestlers of the beetle kingdom, just munching on fruit and tree sap all day long. I'm not sure I'd want to arm wrestle one though. Those horns look pretty serious. Next up, we're going to see if we can find one in the wild. We're heading to the rainforest where these guys hang out. Goliath beetles are some of the largest and heaviest beetles in the world and can range in size from 2.1 to 4.3 inches long and weigh up to 3.5 ounces as larvae. We're in the rainforest now, and it's even crazier than I thought. So many cool bugs and animals everywhere. Feels like an Indiana Jones movie, but with less danger. Our guide says we're close to where Goliath beetles hang out. They love this tree sap that smells not great. It's cool that we have met these giant bugs face to face. Adult Goliath beetles can also lift a load that is 850 times heavier than their own weight. Next up, we're talking about the ninjas of the insect world, stick insects. These guys are the ultimate camouflage experts. Seriously, they look exactly like sticks. We're not talking about a little bit of camouflage like a chameleon changing colors. We're talking full-on, wait, is that a stick or a bug? Kind of camouflage. It's mind-blowing. Imagine trying to find a stick insect in a pile of twigs. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but the needle is also made of hay. They're practically invisible. And the best part? They don't even have to move fast to avoid predators because they're already experts at blending in. Talk about working smarter, not harder. Alright guys, we're putting our detective skills to the test today. We're on a mission to find a stick insect hiding in plain sight. And trust me, this is going to be tough. We've got a whole enclosure filled with branches, leaves, and all sorts of stick insect hiding spots. It's like a jungle gym designed by a master of disguise. I'm going to need your help with this one. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that looks even slightly out of place. A tiny movement, a slightly different shade of brown, anything. Let's see who can spot the stick insect first. This is going to be like the ultimate game of hide and seek. Who spotted the stick insects right here hiding in plain sight? Cool insect. Get ready to be dazzled because we're talking about fireflies. You know those magical little creatures that light up the night like tiny flying stars? Yeah, those guys. Fireflies are like nature's own fireworks show. They have these special organs in their abdomens that produce light through a chemical reaction. It's like having a built-in flashlight. But here's the coolest part. Fireflies use their lights to communicate with each other. They flash their lights in different patterns to attract mates. It's like their own secret language of love. Imagine going on a date and instead of talking, you just flash your lights at each other. That's what it's like for fireflies. And the best part, they don't even need batteries. We're about to witness one of nature's most incredible spectacles, a firefly light show. We're in a field where thousands of fireflies come out at night to put on a dazzling display of flashing lights. Imagine a sky filled with twinkling stars, but instead of being millions of miles away, they're right here on Earth, flying around and putting on a show just for us. It's epic. We've got our cameras all set up and we are capturing this magical event in all its glory. Now all we need is some epic music to make it even cooler. I don't know about you, but I am amazed. There are no fireflies where I live. I sure wish there were. So cool. This is one insect party you don't want to miss. Alright guys, we're talking about the Hercules beetle. This isn't just any ordinary beetle, it's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of insects. This bug is absolutely jacked. I'm talking about a beetle that can lift over 850 times its own weight. Can you imagine lifting 850 times your weight? That's like me lifting a rocket ship. Okay, maybe not a rocket ship, but it would be like lifting a whole bunch of cars at once. These beetles are seriously strong because they have these crazy powerful front legs. They use those legs to lift heavy stuff, fight other beetles, and even dig underground. They don't mess around. So next time you see a tiny little beetle, remember that it might just be a Hercules beetle in disguise. And if it is, you better watch out because this bug is seriously ripped. Now let's talk about those horns. Yeah, you heard me right, horns. Hercules beetles use their massive horns to fight each other. It's like a beetle wrestling match. The horns are so strong they can break wood. That's some superhero stuff right there. They use these horns to defend their territory. The Hercules beetle is one seriously impressive insect. Alright guys, get this. We're talking about cicadas, the insects that take naps longer than anyone I know. Seriously, these bugs sleep for years. Cicadas spend most of their lives underground as nymphs, kind of like insect teenagers. And we're not talking about a quick nap here. We're talking 13 to 17 years underground. Can you imagine sleeping for 17 years? I'd miss out on so many awesome YouTube videos. But here's the crazy part. After all that time underground, millions of cicadas emerge at once in a massive swarm. It's like they all set their alarm clocks for the same time. They come out to mate, lay eggs, and make a whole lot of noise. Which brings us to the next crazy thing about cicadas. Cicadas are known for their super loud songs. They're like the rock stars of the insect world, except maybe not as good looking. And their concerts can get seriously loud. They make this sound by vibrating a special membrane on their abdomens. It's like having a built-in drum kit. And the males, they're the ones who do all the singing. It's how they attract the ladies. Imagine millions of these guys all singing at the same time. It's deafening. It's like being at the loudest concert ever, except instead of your favorite band, it's just a bunch of bugs. But hey, you gotta give them credit for their persistence. They spend years underground just for a chance to sing their hearts out and find a mate. Talk about dedication. Wow! We've learned about some seriously weird and wacky insects today. From beetles that can lift crazy weights to bugs that sleep for years, the insect world is full of surprises. Thanks for joining WiseHooterLearning on this creepy crawly adventure. I hope you learned something new and had some laughs along the way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fun facts. It's free and will enable us to continue to make more learning videos for the kids in your home and Tester and Evaluator in ours. And remember, next time you see a bug, don't be too quick to squish it. It might just have a superpower. See you next time, Bug Buddy.